Theme of the day today was no. I voted no to 6 bills on the House and only voted yes on 4. We're going to maybe start seeing that more and more often, that we're having to stop some bad bills. Not that we stop them. I'm in the minority, so my little no vote just is a position statement, I guess. We had 3 bills today that give badly needed funding to school districts and communities in eastern Montana that are being impacted by this unprecedented growth. And the only reason that I voted no on these bills is because I am betting that there is going to be something much better coming along, and because each of these 3 bills had some serious technical concerns. I just wanted to talk about that. There was an argument today about whether we should pass this piecemeal or whether there should be a comprehensive solution. Proponents of these bills said these are together a comprehensive solution, but the Senate Bill 175 is the comprehensive solution, and these bills aren't the way to go at it. So House Bill 176 had a fiscal note that said the counties don't have the authority to do what you're asking them to do. House Bill 177 had a technical note that said that this actually causes local property taxes to go up by $1.4 million just in 2014 and then beyond from that. And House Bill 228 had 5 technical concerns, and 3 of which really struck a chord with me. One of them, again, said that the counties have no authority to do what you're asking them to do in this bill. And the second concern was that it clearly stated this will actually decrease the funds that are going to school districts. And the third concern was that there's not an appropriation for it. No appropriation exists. So I think I know that I had really valid reasons for voting against those. It's a bummer because we all really agree that this is a problem, and it will feel really good when we can all agree on a way to get these communities some help. Who knew that the longest bill of the day was going to be a librarian bill? There was a librarian bill brought, House Bill 181, that gives control to the school boards to decide how many librarians their district has. And, while we all agree on local control, it's set in the accreditation standards. And so that's one issue with it. And while I'm all for local control, I do not think that this is what the intent of the bill is. I do feel that the intent of the bill is to reduce the number of certified librarians. And the reason I think that is because the sponsor of the bill said, library has changed so much. There's so much media in library. And these young teachers, they already know how to do all of that. So we might not need these librarians who are doing all of this media. And as one of those young teachers to which she was referring, I know that the position of a certified librarian is a very technical job. I do know a lot about media, obviously, but I cannot do the certified librarian's job. And even if I could, I don't want to. I have enough to do. So I thought that was a really terrible argument for passing this bill. And it was also really, really interesting that the same people who voted yesterday not to trust school boards with curriculum were totally okay with removing that local control. Today argued to basically cut jobs because it gives more local control. So which way is it? We saw another House Joint Resolution today from the same guy that brought the last one I talked about, and it was basically I know the Constitution better than you and every other judge that's ever read it. He said in his opening, well, this is really what the drafters thought and believed it was in there, and that's an argument that's kind of hard to prove. As Representative Ankeny said on the floor today, these House Joint Resolutions are treated by a lot of people like a letter to Santa Claus. It doesn't actually do anything. So maybe we should spend our time passing laws. there was bipartisan opposition to 5 of today's bad bills. And so I just wanted to point out that we really are agreeing on a lot of things. And even in the Republican Party, there are folks standing up and making arguments that are very logical and very reasoned. They just happen to be in the minority of their own party. In local government, we heard a bill brought on behalf of the Secretary of State, and it says if we're going to have legislative referenda, then the county should not have to bear the incredible expense of putting those on the ballot, and that the state should do it. And you have to love Linda McCullough. She's just this feisty Irish Butte girl, and she said, and this is almost exactly a quote. If this legislative body plans to use referenda as an extension of the legislative process, then you should pay for it. That bill's not going anywhere. It costs $150,000 every other year, which if you think about how much that costs our counties to put these referenda on the ballots, that's so much money for these little counties. And one of the Republicans on the committee was just really kind of harassing her through questions and saying, well, the governor vetoed it and then the citizens voted it in, and she didn't take any flack. She said, you're passing your job on to the constituents and then making the counties and the constituents pay for it. And maybe you should either do your job or pay for it yourself. I loved it. It was great. Even though I don't think it's going to go anywhere, it was a really, really fun bill to hear. So thanks for the encouragement. I hope you guys are paying attention. It's starting to get real up here. Bye.